How's it going, fam? It's Martin from Martin is chosen too. I'm in the I'm in the lab about to fry me some rice. I made some rice the other day. It was so good. I made it on accident. So I'm gonna try to recreate it. But at the same time, I'm going to be listening to YouTube videos on how to use Streamlab correctly, so I can live stream on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Uh, I'm pretty sure that all of y'all may be aware of Streamlab, but I'm new to all this, so I'm learning, and I learned, through YouTube videos. But yeah, this is I'm here. I just want to see what all I can do. Title settings, okay, cancel. So actually, I'm going live from my laptop, and a lot of people wonder why that you go live from a laptop. Well, because not just the laptop, but going live. Period. Live period actually counts towards your watch hours. So I'm actually going to put this down here so you can see me as I go through this process. But yeah, I will be checking the screen from time to time to see if there's any messages. Otherwise, we're going to learn together.
Tired of manually generating high volumes of critical...
How to use Streamlabs on Android. Using Streamlabs on your Android device lets you take your streaming game on the go. You can chat, manage alerts, and keep tabs on your stream, all from the palm of your hand. So here's how we can do it. So first things first, you'll have to download the Streamlabs app, and then after that, you're just going to open it, basically just like this. And then from here, I'm just going to show you a few settings. We're going to click this here, and then we're going to basically just click go to advanced settings. There you go. So once you've done that, you will be able to see more settings here, and then we're going to add a theme. Of course, the theme is very important, so we're going to click that one. And then from here, I want you to choose a theme that you like. In my case, I'm going to choose a black and white. So I've clicked that one, and then I'm going to click continue. Okay, there you go. Seems like we're done. We're just going to click this one, and then we're going to go back. So now I've added black and white theme. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do basically is just go to streaming settings. All right, and then I'm going to click video settings. And then from here, you're going to change your output resolution. It depends on you. Let's say, for example, if you're going to be streaming at 720p. So in my case, I'm going to be streaming at 720p. And then for the expected frame rate, I'm going to just bump it up to around 60 FPS because that is what we want for the games. All right, now after that one, you will be able to have here the switch between all cameras, orientation lock, and basically all the other things. Now we're just going to click go back, and then another thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the next part. So we have here disconnect protection. If you are like me who have Streamlabs Ultra, this one is going to be very important. So if you're going to just activate this one, basically what will happen is that if, say, for example, you're using your Wi-Fi or your mobile data to stream, and then something happens with your internet, then this is going to protect you from disconnecting right away. So, of course, there is like a specific time as to how long it can take, but this is going to definitely protect you from those sudden surges or sudden loss of internet. So once you activated disconnect protection, we're just going to go back, and then we're going to go to streaming settings once again, and then we're going to click platform settings. From here, you're going to choose which platform you're going to be streaming. Say, for example, in my case, I'm going to say to Facebook, and then I'm going to click OK. And once it's done, you can then go on and click Go Live. So I'm going to click mine, and then you're going to select platform which you're going to choose from. And then after that one, congratulations. Now you are able to stream using your Android phone. And by the way, I would highly suggest to upgrade to Streamlabs Ultra to level up your streaming quality and experience. You can save up to $10 of discount right away after clicking on the link in the description box and the comment section below. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave this video a like if this helps you out.
I played around with it, and some got like 1 million views. I didn't even do anything. I just put the link in.
OpenSlip is one of the most practical AI tools out there.
It allows one piece of long-form content.
Put in the link.
Hey guys, what is up? In today's video, we are going to show you how to stream with Streamlabs Mobile, the entire mobile setup tutorial. Now, we have had a few shorter
How's it going?
videos about this, but today we are going
See
to show
somebody
you
popped
how
up.
it's done from start to finish. Now, as you can see, I am in the Google Play Store.
Yeah,
You can
I'm
use
just here
the
actually
Apple App Store too.
trying to get some of
Just
these
tap on
watch
it
hours, but I'm gonna
and
fry some rice
type in
at the
Streamlabs.
same
It's going to
time.
be this one. As you can see, it says.
But I'm trying to learn how to use Streamlab. I don't know if you're aware of Streamlab, that it's a platform that allows you to stream across multiple platforms at the same time. Oh, she's gone.
Streamlabs live streaming installed. It's just like any other app. Just install, tap install, and it's going to install on its own. After that, just tap on open to open this, right? And it's going to show you the screen, and it's going to have an annoying pop out. I don't know why they do this. It's kind of annoying, but nevertheless, that's how the interface is at. Let's just wait for it to load, because if it loads for the first time, it is a bit slow. Sometimes when people are using it. So
what's going on? I'm just here actually getting some of this watch time while I'm here. I'm listening to videos on how to figure out how to use Streamlabs.
How to use Streamlabs on Android. Using Streamlabs on your you can just say
use Streamlabs to multiply on multiple platforms at one time.
So out of this first, and what you want to do next. Let's try to cancel. Let's go out and ready your game that you're going to stream on your mobile phone. So for this instance, it's going to be Brawl Stars. So let's open Brawl Stars first. Alright, so again, this is an older phone, that's why it's a bit slower, but bear with me. Alright, so as you can see, we don't need to wait for it, just make sure that it's open, right? Okay, and then now go back to Streamlabs. And what you want to do in the screen, again, as you can see, every time you open this is going to pop up. So tap cancel. What you want to do next is tap on the three lines or hamburger icon on the upper left corner of the screen like so. And here you're going to be brought to your settings. Now, what are you going to do? First, tap on themes. Here you can add a theme that you can use, but you would need premium for this. So if we, for example, let's tap this. As you can see, you need to upgrade to Ultra. We don't have that, but if you want, you can do that. And then scenes here, it's either the default vertical or the horizontal way. So we're at default at just choose between the two. After that, go out again. And here, what you want to do is tap on alerts. And here, you're going to disable the ones that you're not going to use. So, for example, if you're going to stream on Twitch, what you want to do is just deactivate or disable the things that doesn't, have anything to do with Twitch. So, as you can see, what redemptions, merchandise, Twitch subscriptions, Prime subscriptions, YouTube members, we don't need that. YouTube subscription, you don't need that. So, anything Twitch, you have to enable. Other than that, you don't. So, after that, go back again and go to account settings. Now here you need to make sure that your whatever platform you're streaming to, you're connected. So as you can see, we're connected to the Twitch account, we're connected to the YouTube account, we're connected to the Facebook account. Now, that makes sure that we can stream to these platforms, because of course you need to be logged in, you need to have an account to stream to that platform. Just make sure that you have those. So after that, go back again and go to stream settings. Now you're in stream settings here. This is pretty much your settings, like in OBS or Streamlabs, the desktop version. If you tap the audio settings, you could, make your microphone lower or higher. Internal, same thing. Internal is pretty much the quote unquote desktop audio, or the in-game audio, right? So more audio options. This is where you just have to, tweak it the way you want. And sample rate, you want, again, just choose whatever you want or whatever your phone can have. Video settings, same time. As you can see, output resolution 1080p.
if you have a slower,
I learned how to just,
older phone line,
you don't have to cut the whole onion up. You can make the onion last if you just cut a square in the bottom of it, and then you take the knife. You don't go that deep. You just think of how much you're gonna use, and you create a line on each one of those squares.
Stream status indicator should be on. Orientation allow to change stream orientation.
So you're basically cutting 4 squares.
Only Twitch and Trovo supports mid-stream orientation change at this moment. So as you can see, you can have that enabled. It's very easy to
And you'll see what I just did. Let me get some of this off.
Since we're using Twitch, we're going to enable that, right? After that, go back.
Why was you? That's kind of in the way. So let me go to something else. I know I can't play music. So let's see what I can. You know what? I might be able to listen to somebody. I wonder if that's a problem listening to somebody else's. Let's see. Your remote witness bliss. Are you willing to share? All right, 200 subscribers.
Hey guys, my name is Harris Heller, and I've been a
Let's see.
Shout out to the WTC gang.
So basically what it does, it just allows you to peel the onion, and then you'll see, watch when I get the onions that I plan on using, I don't have to worry about, because a lot of people will put an onion, they'll cut an onion up and put it in the refrigerator. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. It has this type of bacteria that grows on it when you do it like that. So when you cut an onion, it's not good to put it back in the refrigerator in a cold environment. All right, so bad.
Stop selling for any. It's either 100 or 100 or nothing more. You gotta stop settling for less than what we deserve. You'd be surprised how people just don't believe. Then you got some people, they only believe in 30-50. You got some people that believe in.
So when I did that, when I cut that onion like that, what it allowed me to do is to pull the onion, how much I want to use, and the onion is still whole. So that shell that you pulled off will come back on there.
I pray for you, you pray for me.
But yeah, that's what that is.
We lived in our last few days, man. Were real.
So now this onion right here, some people just wrap it in paper towels. I actually don't have any paper towels right now, but I saw the same thing. Just drop it out of the paper bag.
Hey man, I'm just here to see what you can do for me. Ain't nobody offering nothing to the table, man. That's what I'm getting ready to say, man.
Thought I had some potatoes.
Ain't nobody, amen.
No, that's just potatoes. I thought I had some little ones though.
Why waste money? Why go on these dates? And you know, guess what? That person ain't called you enough, they ain't text you enough, they ain't showed you enough effort to even go on a date. Who I'm talking to, man? I'm getting ready to go in.
Yes, I used them.
Let me tell you, I'm to the point where I'm just falling in love with Jesus. I don't know what this message is for, but you got to get to the point where you just fall in love with Jesus. You ain't got time for dating. You ain't got time for mingling. You ain't got time for none of that. Guess what? You are too busy falling in love with Jesus.
Oh, now.
I'm going to tell you, you got to love yourself, children. Love yourself enough to respect yourself. Love yourself. And show people how you should be loved, how you should be treated, man. That's what I'm getting ready to say. We live in our last evil days, man. People don't want to ask you where you from, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food. They don't want to ask them questions anymore. Do you believe in Christ? First thing they want to ask you is, what does your business consist of? How much you make in a year? What kind of car are you driving? Where do you live? None of your damn business.
Okay. Let's go back.
Number one, you asking too many questions.
But please take this as it resonates, because this is so unbelievable. Because the people that I thought had learned how to mind their own business, the people that I thought had come to that acceptance of who you really are, not of who they thought you are or you are. The people that I thought they had now given up on you, they're minding their own life. They're the same people right now that are out there. This is not just about stalking. Like, honestly, I did not see this coming, but my dream was very, very vivid yesterday. These people are not only watching everything you do. If you are someone that has a social media handle, they're definitely watching you every single day and talking about every single thing. It's like your life has become a part of that thing. Is like a reality show to them. Like if you don't even maybe post, or if you don't show up for some time, they get bored. But these are the people. I'm not talking about just people who are random. So these people, some of them are rich, or let me say they portray that image of being wealthy. They have some money. But honestly, you were someone that knew these people in and out. Like,
transform your newsletter into its very own mobile app and allow your readers to install it.
you were close with these people. Like I say, take this as it is. These people were very close with you. Some of it could have been like some family or.
So the woman that is talking for the video,
friends that had some money. But
her name is Mother's Eye. Al Kabulan or something like that. Mother's Eye Al Kabulan. But she's she's on Instagram. I mean on YouTube. Mother's Eye Africa Al Kabulan. But yeah, she's a herbalist.
Deep, even other things.
Rasta style, flower child. I like listening to her messages.
You love them. You even question yourself. How am I fitting in this family? How am I fitting with these people? Why do they even love me? What do they want from me? Until the truth came to life. Until everything revealed itself that these people weren't your people. They weren't good people. They were up to something until their intentions were revealed to you. So when all that happened, you are no longer talking.
Hello,
you are no longer talking. It's like you are in a whole different world.
Let's say
you never even told them what you found out. Whatever happened.
Darius Church or something like that. Oh, how you doing, lady?
What is happening?
How you doing?
That you are going to want their help at some point. They feel like, oh my God, this person is,
already chopped these up. There's no vegetables already.
But we know at some point they will want our help.
All right.
Or maybe
so
some of
got
them
my
are trying to put up some kind
vegetable
of
parts done.
Sending some kind of energy to
now let's get with this
kind
rice.
of disorganize you or disrupt you so that you might seek out for help to them. There is something. This is something to do with these people's career. If these people maybe have connections, maybe in a certain field of career, they might want to go behind you where you are working at and say this and this and this, and then you get fired so that you can go out to seek help to them because it might be the easiest option. That is what they want. It's like they miss the fact that you used to be their puppet. That's what sorry, I was looking for that word because what I'm seeing is yes, these people have money.
All right, just got a package.
Selfish.
I don't know what it is.
Very selfish.
But we about to find out.
They saw you starving. They saw you suffering. They saw you in debts, like very small debts. Yes, I know you have to be responsible for your own life and you have to take accountability. But they never even tried to offer their help. The only time they try to offer their help is in exchange of something.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how to go live on YouTube and excuse me, Streamlabs, and TikTok at the same time because I get products on TikTok. They give me sample products and I do reviews for them. So I actually have to do 2 separate reviews. But now what I can do is an app called Streamlabs that allows you to go live on multiple apps at the same time. Oh, it came. So and yeah, it just kind of like, because right now, like this, what I'm doing is not really a message. I'm not really bringing a message. But if you are, trying to get your following count up and your watch hours, go live. Something about the live hours, they count towards watch hours. So start going live. It can't hurt you. And then there is another way that they said where you can loop your videos, let it play for 12 hours. But they say don't no more than 12 hours, but like he said, dudes say like 11 hours, 30 minutes at a time, and just loop them. So they're just playing every night. You got it set for 11 and a half hours, and those are counting towards your watch hours as well. So I'm trying to figure out how to get that because I just got up to 200 subscribers. So my subscriber count is growing. I still need to work on my presentation. My spiel is a little rough. Well, not a little rough. It's still rough, but I'm going to get there. So these are some steel mugs that they gave me that I have to do a live for on TikTok. But these are the Kiss Kind product manual. Oh, let's get some little cleaning things. And this is no, so I'll be doing a live for that. But yeah, let's see what that's the mug. It's got the little other attachments, but yeah, I'll be doing a lot. You'll see it too, because I'm gonna find out today how to do my lives at the same time using Streamlabs. So that's that. Okay, what was that?
Come and watch my kids. Maybe I'll give you food, or maybe I'll give you shelter, or come and help me with this. It had to benefit them the more. They never came to you as a friend to offer some help. Like, you know what? We see you are going through this. We can offer you a job, and this is what we can offer. And even if you were someone who had services, for example, you were a business owner, especially if you were a small business owner, these people maybe came and book your services, but at a very, very low price, or maybe they wanted you to work for free. Basically, they were that kind of people. They were very selfish to that extent. And now they see you thriving. I'm not even saying that you are very successful, but you are doing your thing, baby. Like, you are not giving up. You are doing your thing, and they are seeing how confident and amazing you are. Like, they did not see you getting this far doing what you are doing now. So it's like they want to find a way to make you their puppet again. They want to find a way to get you back into the family, into the group, into the entity. They are trying so hard. And what is funny is that some of you, I don't know what timeline that you are. You could be still associating with these people, and maybe you are going to find out the truth about their intentions very soon, and this is going to happen. So whenever you are watching, take this as a choosinates. But all I can say is that these people still have their evil intentions for you, even if for some of you it has been a long time since you talked to them. It's like they are trying to find a way to enter into your life, either through someone or through some channel, whatever way, they're gonna try to come in. They're gonna try to buy your love this time. They're gonna try to give you these offers, like, oh, maybe this. But then I'm seeing that whatever they're offering is a trap. It's like they're waiting for you to fall for their little play
Right.
of welcoming you back into their home or heart or whatever. And then they leave you there, they leave you with nothing. Like they want to see you. I don't know. It's like they have enough. They have enough. They're supposed to be happy for you. They're supposed to be celebrating with you. And it's gonna look like that when they come to you. But it's like they still want to challenge you to see if you are really what you say you are, because for them they're not getting this image that you're portraying right now. They're used to the other image of you being the slave, kind of, in a way that some of you did not even you were just being sweet and nice and a good Christian maybe, or a good person to help these people, to be there for this family. But for them, they never saw you like that. They saw you as someone that is always available when they need them. They saw that someone who maybe needed family, and they used that, to whatever, to manipulate you into that.
All right.
That is how they saw you.
Now we get down to the good part.
Just
About to start this right. So basically, this is the type of cooking method that a lot of you might not be familiar with, because it's actually they say it's frying, but to me, it should be considered charring or charring or to burn is what I call it. Let me find a box. Let's put this up. Set this up. All right. This is oil. I used this oil before, and it's already seasoned somewhat. Well, not somewhat, a lot. So I'm going to reuse it before I throw it out.
Because you are the only one who had this real energy. You are the only one who
Without taking the cornhusk off first, huh? Then like, oh my God, this is so nasty. This is so dry. It's fucking disgusting. I'll never forget, a couple months later, Miss Myra, she brought out some tomatoes for potluck day. She's like, yo, we don't have a tomato. I was like, no, I'm good on tomatoes. She's like, no, yo, please, I have some homemade tomatoes. Please have one. They're really good. I was like, Miss Myra, I don't want to be disrespectful or anything. I know tomatoes is kind of like chicken or whatever. That's because tamales, black chicken, white people is something really disgusting, right? Potato salad with pecan jelly, something really nasty for white people. Think of something you like a whole lot, and then just take all the seasoning off of it. And then what it is with white people. So I was like, with Tamara, I don't want to be disrespectful or anything. I know Tamara's got like a chicken motor or whatever. But I hate them. I fucking hate tamales. And then she picked up a tamale and she started to unwrap it. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm taking off the outside. I was like, what? The outside? The first fucking part. And then she gave me some green sauce. I was like, what is this? Mexican barbecue sauce? This is the best shit. Any husbands in the house? Any husbands in the house? I've been married for about 7 years off and on. I take time off. Fuck that. I'll kill myself up on 24/7.
I like using this rice right here.
I appreciate it though. She did some shit for me as a man. I know I couldn't do for her. Like this one bullshit. She took on my child from a previous relationship. That's some good bad shit right there. My shit, I told her step parents in the house that's loving somebody else. That's real normal of you. She had a child from a previous relationship. My kids now, I think I like yours too. But I heard some kids are petty. Guess what? I'm petty too. Fuck wrong with you. One time I took you ain't my real dad. Yeah, this ain't your real house. You can get the fuck out whenever you want. You want no package, little money. I don't love you. Fuck out of you. Ain't that bad ass night. Who's your real daddy, man? Yeah, all right. Well, you got 2 sides. I guess you do 25 too. That's jail for people. That's jail. I'm not telling people that I know something about. That's what I said. I don't know. Fuck y'all. I understood I was a weekend dad. I weekend dad shit. On Friday and you do the Sunday afternoon. I ain't see you in 2 weeks. I said, I can do that. 2 days and a half. Shit, let's do it.
My granny used to cook rice like that.
I see him on Monday for the first time ever in life. I ain't know what the fuck to do. I'm just staring at him. What you do on Monday? I go to school. What you looking at me for? I need you to take me. Let's go. I figure out, yo, I'm not going to talk about fuck that. I'm going to only say school get up, buddy. I ain't got time for this shit. There's too much responsibilities, man, when the kids live with you. It was a weekend, dad. All you have to do is show up for shit. I'm a son who joined the band. His mom called me. Oh my God, your boy is in the band. He comes here and performs. I said, shit, I'm mad. I'm a performer. Let my son perform. I gotta go see this. All my friends going, yo, gotta go see my son perform. Yeah, we get out there. They got all the kids lined up. They all the instruments on the stage. I'm looking at the saxophone. Like, yeah, my nigga. Be a sexy little nigga at the saxophone.
That's the dry rice. So like I said, they say it's called frying. I more think it's more with called shoring. So let that soak just a minute in that oil. I used to cook it in a regular pot, but man, it is so much easier to cook it inside of these woks fried rice. Man. So the reason you might be wondering why I'm going live about making this is because I'm getting some watch hours. This is a way to get boost my watch hours up. All right, there we go. It has started. The process has begun. I'm about to open these doors in a minute because these smoke alarms go off. So I actually add beans and corn to the rice. I don't really eat meat, but today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually throw some tuna fish in there because I mistakenly my cat's my female cat, all she eats is tuna fish, albacore tuna fish. But I messed up and bought like 30 cans of tuna fish with oil, and she doesn't like that, so that was a mess up. I'm stuck with it. Yeah, it does smell great. But I gotta be careful in a minute. Once it starts really burning, I might need to go. Let me go ahead and open this screen door now just in case. definitely got to watch this, or it will burn. Actually, probably look like I may have put too much grease in here, so I might throw some more rice in there. It's a lot of rice. It's 5 cups. I made it the other day of 2.5 cups, and I ate all the rice in one day. It was so good. I normally wouldn't make this much, but because I actually put too much grease in here, or oil, that I put this extra rice in there. That's good. This will be enough to last me about 3 days. You know, when you don't eat meat, rice and beans is part of your major staple. All right, got it. Oh, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for the support. Very much appreciated. Help me get these watch hours in. So what it doing is basically letting this rice brown. Basically say it's frying, but I'm getting to the part where it's brown. Basically a light burn is what it is. I like my rice. I don't like my rice to be sticky. You know what I mean? Stick together. I like my rice to be able to be. Now we're getting down to the good part. So you ever hear those stories about the rice being mixed with plastic? They said a lot of the rice that comes from China is mixed with it's fake rice, it's plastic. Well, one thing for certain, if it is plastic and you frying it, it will melt. So that was the I already put the onions in there. Now I'm putting the actually I need some more onions because I put more rice in there. That was the garlic and that's the bell pepper. But I do need to cut some more onions up real quick because like I say, I put 2 more cups of rice in there. I'm out of bell pepper. And I don't have enough time to cut no more garlic, so I just throw some. bell peppers. Basically, I think these are, to me, I think these are the ones that the crushed red peppers come from. Basically, these get them from the Mexican store. I like my food spicy. I ain't got time. I was gonna cut some more onions up. So I put those extra cups of rice in there, but I ain't gonna mess with it. Now, I'm going to put this tuna fish in there now because it's in the oil. I'm really doing it because I want the oil, but so you can leave the tuna fish in chunks. You don't actually have to break it down, but you choose to break it down, that's fine as well. Put a little water in those cans because when I instead of just throwing the cans away, I try to get the little leftover oil and fish that was in the bottom of the cans. Put a little hot water so when I go to port, actually putting water in here, I can get that oil, the rest of that oil and the rest of that fish out of there as well. Turn this heat up a little bit more. So I don't actually don't like this is I'll be using Chipotle corn, and then a deal of sweet corn, and then 2 different types of beans. I don't pour the juices out because you have to put water in the rice anyway. So I just use the natural juices in here, and after I use these juices, it'll let me know how much of the juice. How much other water to use, or how much more water I need. All right, so the rice, most of the rice has been brown. I'm turning a little bit. I like a little of mine burnt. I went to this Puerto Rican's house, and they eat like burnt rice, and I was like, burnt, but it actually was pretty good. So I left them big old the chunks of tuna fish. I left them in big old chunk forms. All right, now let's start with the corn. This is the Chipotle corn, or however you pronounce that. So I'll throw a little water in that, get the rest of that out of there. When it's time, I used to, you really can't do this like this in the regular pots and pans. So me buying this right here, I mean, it was a lifesaver. This wok, woo! All right, so that's the first still of corn. This is the second. So far we got fried rice in there. We got onions. We got garlic. We got bell peppers. We got sweet corn and Chipotle corn. And tuna fish. And we left the tuna fish. We left the tuna fish in chunks. Let me see if I can get. That's the big chunks of tuna fish. I didn't break it down. So when you get to a slab, you'll know, hey, that's fish right there. Still haven't put no water in here outside of the water that's coming out of the corn or the beans. This one right here is red kidney beans with light gravy, and that gravy is not meat. But it doesn't have to be. Let me turn it back down now. It doesn't have to have the gravy. It could be just kidney beans. I just picked that up, not paying attention, but it still works. It's going to give a little extra flavor. Now this one is the black beans. Again, I haven't put no water in there yet. I'm just using the water that's coming off of the corn, the canned goods right now. Because that way I don't have to drain the canned goods. I can just put it in there. Because after this will let me know, after I use all these, it'll let me know how much added water I need. I still haven't seasoned it yet either. All right, so now I'm going to go to the point about adding the water. This is the little water that I use to rinse out of the tuna fish, so I can get a little extra oil, and then the extra seafood. All right. So add one last ingredient in there, and that is tomato. That is this the tomato sauce. All righty. Now I'm using, this is chicken that they use to make what do they call those things? Those seafood boils, basically seafood boil seasoning. Now, I didn't just pour it in there like that. I eyeballed it because I used this before. So I basically know about how much to use. Get us black pepper. Himalayan sea salt. Almost out of paprika, but this is. And I like turmeric. I told you I like my food hot. That's cayenne pepper. And then now we can add the water. So I really don't use water from the sink without letting it sit out for 24, at least 24 hours to evaporate the chlorine in it. So because I put all those other things in there, I'm only going to put, for right now, 1.5 cups of water. It may take another 1.5 cups, but we're going to see. I don't like my rice mushy or sticky. I like my rice be able to count the kernels. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this up. So I usually, like I said, I usually don't make this much rice, but I had put too much oil. So instead of using 2.5 cups, I added an extra 1.5 cups. I mean, an extra 2.5 cups. Because the other day I made this last week, and man, it was so good. It was the first time I made it last week, and it was so good that I ended up eating the whole pan. So it was 2.5 cups of rice. So this time I'm gonna make sure I got enough. Let that cook for 5 minutes on high. Go ahead and put that extra. I can see it can take another cup of water. So between the beans, the 2 beans, so both of those would be like a cup of water, and then I used the 2 corns, so both of those would be a cup. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for 5 cups, for 5 cups of rice, usually takes double that of water. So that'd have been 10 cups of water. So right now I'm probably around 8 cups. But when you fry, you decrease the amount of water that it needs. Put it like that. So right now I'm looking at anywhere between 7 to 8 cups of water in here. That's include like 3 cups of just regular, actually water, and the other one are water that was inside the beans and the corn or the canned goods. So now it's a good part. Now we let it do what it do. Because this wok, that's the thing about a wok, you don't have a top for it. But over here, we make do with what we got. So I use this. Clean up some of these dishes. So all this rice right here will last me. I'll be eating on this for about 3 days. And when you don't eat meat, so I don't have to cook. I can just come over here, throw this in the microwave. I appreciate y'all showing up today. I wasn't really coming with a message. I'm trying to make sure I get some watch time. Some watch hours. I'm up to 200 subscribers now, which is a blessing. So now I need to start actually incorporating getting me some watch time. And for you to, let me turn this. Oh, I didn't turn this down. For you all that didn't know, that lives are a great form of watch time. So turn this back down a little bit. I got it now. Turn it down to a lower heat and let it do what rice do. And I'll leave this for an additional 10 minutes. And that's basically just low heat. Then we gonna see what we got. Water. So while that's going, let's talk to you. How long y'all been on YouTube? It's new for me. I'm enjoying the journey though. I'm definitely enjoying this YouTube journey. If y'all have looked at any of my content, you will see that I am rough right now. Still rough. Still rough, but I'm getting polished. I'm better than I was when I first started. That's a big blessing. So each day that I come over here, go live, script videos, I'm chipping away at that anxiety, at that fear. So it's gonna be a day where I come on here and I'm smashing it. So everything content. I guess it's her name. How you doing, everything content? Yeah, this is it. This is my mission to get my YouTube stuff popping off. Y'all make sure y'all address everything. Oh, you already did. Everything content. But yeah, this is me just trying to get watch hours. So I'm gonna start doing this to make sure I can boost my watch hours up. I'll be going live about not much. Like I do have live structured lives, but then I'm gonna do other lives. Like on one of the catalogs or one of the playlists on my YouTube, I have one called "Cooking with the Divine" or "Cooking with the Most High." Why I call it that is because two people can have the same ingredients, and they can follow the same recipe to a T, and then you can taste one of the meals, and one of the meals tastes better than the other meal, and you really don't know why. Well, they had all the physical same ingredients, but one of them, the person that enjoyed cooking, they had an extra ingredient. That extra ingredient is love, because they enjoy doing what they're doing. And by the course of them doing that, that energy is being transferred or transmuted into that meal. And that's why that meal can taste a lot different, better than the other guy's meal or the other woman's meal, because what love is missing. And so that goes into where you have to watch or be careful of the food that you eat from other people, because people can transmit They can transmit. Look, that's what you're looking for. They're looking for you. But they can transmit negative energy into their food or curses into the food. So you have to be very mindful of the food from other people that you choose to eat. I'm very leery about accepting other people's food. Now, I am not worried about something happening to me because, you know, like you said, no weapon formed against me will prosper. It didn't say that those weapons won't be formed. It's just they won't prosper against me. But it also says, do not test God. So just because I know that I'm protected doesn't mean that I'm going to willfully just go out there and do things and you know, and put God up to a test to see if he's going to protect me or not. When a lot of the protection I can, for myself, I can provide some of it. You know, I can do the little stuff and let the Most High do the big stuff. The big old, it's my big old boy. My big old boy. I got this. I got 2 rescues. He actually drowned. Him and his sister, they drowned, and they had to be resuscitated back to life. So if you don't know anything about cats, their brains are so small that that he special needs. Him and his sister have special needs. They actually can't function on their own. Oh, I ain't got you no food. That's why you sitting over here. My bad. Yeah, they can't actually function like regular cats and live on their own. So I do, but they do act like dogs. I let them go out every day. They go outside, play, chase birds, break sticks, and then when they're ready, they come and jump on my screen. Well, they'll come and just meow. And if I don't open the door fast enough, or somebody's after them because they scared of other cats, they'll run and jump on my screen. I hear a loud noise on my screen. I know to go open the door for them. Yeah. I wish I was somebody in here that had been properly monetized, and they can share some of their information about, you know, how they able to get their watch hours, you know, up for their 1,000 viewers. I am presently using a service called vidIQ, which is, you know, it's basically they give me step-by-step instructions on how to, you know, do this, and I'm enjoying it. So, how many of y'all out here are suffering from gang stalking or monitoring spirits? And just to clarify the difference between a gang stalking and monitoring spirits is usually the monitoring spirits are usually the people that are in your facility. Okay, let's see, somebody is somebody that is actually in your facility that are suffering from that, and that's usually like your co-workers at your job, your boss, you know, the stuff that where you go if you go to this grocery store, you know what I mean? They have certain people in place, which is usually your monitoring spirits. Those people just watch you and go report back to what's going on in your life. And then you have the other group of people who are, let's say that the gang stalkers are basically the people that are out on the streets, performing street theater, you know, just doing all types of cutting you off in traffic, you know, doing all type of things that, you know, to upset you, to try to make the whole goal is to turn your positive energy into a negative energy. You know, they win when they get that, you know, and we do that. We do fall for it. But the trick is that you come right back. You know, when you do experience something like that, you don't stay in that energy. You might like get mad that somebody cut you off, and then all of a sudden you remember, oh man, they did that on purpose. You know what I mean? They trying to, you know, these energy thieves trying to steal my energy. So once you recognize it for what it is, you know what I mean? It doesn't bother you, or you know, it's part of that process. And as you come to grips to understand that, hey, this is their goal. I'm not gonna let them people steal my energy. You know, so just be mindful of that. I've been aware of my situation for like the last. One moment. Yeah, I've been aware of my situation for like the last 4 years. I've actually been in isolation for the last 3 years. I'm actually to the point now where I'm coming out of isolation. You know, the Most High is bringing me out of isolation, and I've been fighting it for a while. You know, because I'm not the type of person that likes to be in front of the camera. That's actually not me. I mean, I can do it, but that's not where I would rather be. I would rather be behind the scenes, assisting, encouraging, inspiring, motivation. But that's not where the Most High wanted me. He wanted me this right here to get out there, use my voice, and so that's why I'm here now. I am rough. I am getting a lot better. If you would have seen me a few months ago, you'd have been like, "Whoa." A little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna show you the right how it's coming along. Got to almost now. I gotta let it steam a little bit, dry out some of that water. Let me get some more of this. Yeah, so it's coming out good. But yeah, some of the gang stalking, so a lot of things that I didn't believe in. Like I wasn't one of those people that you could tell about you. If you were talking to me about witches and warlocks and stuff, I thought you was crazy. You know what I mean? I like, man, this dude's a nut job or this girl's a nut job. I didn't, you know what I mean, believe in, you know what I mean, any of that stuff like there. And then I went to El Paso, and in El Paso, I ended up when I first got there, I met this little woman, little short woman. She was part of the. I was helping out with people with this drug awareness program, and so when I first got there, the day the first got there, I seen I was the only black guy in this group setting, and I'm pretty sure that, you know what I mean, it was very, because El Paso it's very racist. The Mexicans from Mexico, they don't like the blacks, they don't like whites, they don't like Asians, they don't even like Texas Mexicans, because they said the Texas Mexicans, they either acting white or they either acting black. So, but El Paso has Fort Bliss, which was the second largest military base in the U.S., but now it's the first. It passed Fort Hood, and so they do have a diverse area, but they're all like congregated on one side of town, which is the northeast El Paso. And I didn't want to be limited to one part of town, so I didn't go over there. So I actually stayed in Central and then West Side, which is like the Central is like down. It's actually what borders actually Juarez, the Mexico border. So for them to cross into Mexico is they basically going through the Central El Paso. And but anyway, it was very, very segregated. And the only way that they really accepted you, which I wasn't trying to get accepted, but you know, I do like Hispanic women, and but they're very leery about messing with you because the Mexican men, they bully them, basically like saying, oh, once you dated the black guy, you're no good for us no more. You know what I mean? So they kind of, you know, give them that type of attitude. But what I did was I took Latin dance lessons 3 days a week. And I got very good at a certain dance called bachata. I could do the other dances, but I was very good at a dance that they had struggled doing, which was bachata. Now, bachata is actually an Afro Latino type of dance style. You see a lot of the Puerto Ricans, a lot of the islanders doing it. And so I used to take dance lessons at this club called Teddy's. On every Tuesday, they have free dance lessons. It started like 9 o'clock. And then the club actually started popping at 10 o'clock. So then they opened up this other club. These, excuse me, these Puerto Ricans out of New York. They opened up a club called LQ New York, and they actually part of like the other woman that danced. She danced. She didn't necessarily dance professionally, but she had been. So that's part of the street theater. When the gang stalking, you know, they making excessive noises and stuff like that. That is part of the gang stalking to interrupt. That is the whole goal, is to interrupt, you know. But we don't fall for that over here. We know what it is. We recognize it for what it is and keep going. So so this she had been doing it for years, so she understood you know, dancing. But the LQ New York, they actually bought a really professional dance instructor, and he donated his time twice a week to give free lessons. Now he used those free lessons to actually have one-on-one lessons. Like he would offer, you can get one-on-one lessons, but you had to come early or different days, blah blah blah. I didn't go that far. I just took the regular dance lessons because it was a blessing, man. I mean, you go in there, for some reason, guys didn't show up for dance lessons. It was always women. So you go in there, it's like 6 guys, 25 women every time we go in there. So as a guy, you got to dance with every woman because he would rotate you. Like you might dance with this woman for 3 minutes and then you rotate to the next woman. So that's how so that way every woman got an opportunity to dance. And but I remember the first night I walked in there and I seen the most. Oh, well, let me go back to the lady from the dance thing. So when I first got there at the drug class and helping, I knew those Hispanic people probably wasn't going to listen to me, blah, 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 because it's very racist and it's set up. And but she did. So she's passing out papers. We haven't had me and her have no interaction before. This is the first time I see her. I see this little white woman, a little Mexican woman come in, very short, about 4 feet, you know what I mean, 9, if that tall. And she had this long white hair. And she's passing out papers. And then she just and then all of a sudden she just stops. And she just turns around and looks directly at me and walks over and says, "You think with the big head, not with the little head." He says, "You're a very attractive man. And these Mexican girls here, they're going to go crazy about you. But you see all these Mexicans in here? That's their brothers. That's their sisters. That's their mothers. That's their aunts, daughters. So they don't like you already. How do you think that they're going to feel when you start dating, you know what I mean, their family members? So think with the big head, not the little head." And she's actually touching me on my thing when she do that. Like, think with the big head. Don't. So in my mind, I'm like, B, you know what I mean? Like, you don't even know me, blah, 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 blah. So that initial interaction was kind of like, you know, it made me feel a certain type of way. Well, after some time going, I come to find out that she's, you know what I mean, she says this, you know, she's a white witch. You know, I don't believe in none of that stuff at that time, but she's like, she's a white witch. So what she does is, like, you know, she helps people that are going through, you know, certain things and blah, blah, blah. But again, like I say, I ain't believing none of that stuff. So I ain't really paying none of it, no attention. But I remember this day. So the dance lesson, fast forward to the dance lesson. I go to take the dance lesson. And I walk inside this club, LQ New York, the first night of dance lesson, and I see the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I mean, and she was older. She was, let me see, at that time, I was like 43. And she was like 5 years older than me. So she was like 48 years old. And she was the most beautiful, had the body. I'm talking about the sexiest woman inside of the club. I mean, she was bad. Woo. Her name was Myrtha. And as soon as I seen her, like I seen like when I came through the door, this is who I seen. And she wasn't like right by the door. She was way over there. Like, and I was like, damn. And the first thought that popped in my mind, it said witch. But as soon as it popped in my mind as witch, you know what I mean? I kind of like, blocked it because I'm like, ain't nowhere in the world this woman it got anything to do with a witch. Because, we've always been told or trained to believe that witches are ugly people or have, warts on their nose. We've been trained to believe that witches are ugly people. And, which is far from the truth. You know what I mean? Some of the most beautiful women and men, I guess, with warlocks. I really don't know too much about warlocks, but the women, because I've found out that I have this calling or whatever, this light that attracts witches. The whole fun is to try to knock me off my goal. But anyway, so I said I threw it out of my mind. As soon as I seen it, it said witch. I was like, nah, ain't no way in the world this woman a witch. And then I kind of blocked it. Like, ain't no way she gonna talk to me because I'd been in prison. I did 23 years in prison. I just got out of prison. I went, instead of going home to where I'm from, I went to a whole new city where I didn't know nobody, so that I didn't have to worry about nobody trying to give me, stuff to get back on my feed or getting caught up in somebody else's case. So I went somewhere where I didn't know nobody, where I can live a normal person, where I can ride a bus, get on a city bus, and nobody look at me crazy. So that's why I was there. So when I'm there, I don't really have much. I got clothes, I got a car, but that's about it, And but come to find out that was more than the majority of the people that lived in that city because the poverty level was so, But so anyway, going into that, we danced, we did it. I kept looking at her. She was so beautiful. I know she see me looking at her, kept staring at her. So I didn't say nothing that night. But the next, so that was like on a Tuesday night. That next Thursday, because I thought about it all that time when I was at home. All I did was think about her. And I was like, man. And I did something I normally don't do. I normally don't jump out there and holler at no woman. Like if she don't show me no signs that, she like me, I don't really pay no attention, to it. Woo. God is good. Oh my goodness. I feel like Taylor Swift, y'all. Where she said, oops, I did it again. Man, let me let you see this rice. I gotta go to the next step of letting it steam. But look at that rice, yo. Look at that rice, yo. Look at that rice, yo. And when it's finished steaming, I like my rice where I can count it if I wanted to. I can put it on a plate and count. It ain't just lumped up and looking like mashed potatoes. But so all I did was I thought about murder. That whole for the next, because that was Tuesday night, I had the next dance lesson on Thursdays. So all I did was think about murder. And I don't jump out there, like say with women. If a woman don't show me that they say I have a fear of rejection, it's not that I have a fear of rejection. I just know that, women have too many options. And sometimes having too many options, it puts a person, it confuses a person, you know what I mean? Because they're always thinking there's something better, you know what I mean? They holding out, so I don't, and I'm not going to be dating you and spending money on you, blah, 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 when you're thinking that it may be something better for you, right? So, how you doing, fam? Supreme Hustle, how you doing? So what I did was, but now I'm just all that I'm just all I'm doing is thinking about murder. So that next day at dance lesson, I did something I don't normally do. I had created a letter, a piece of paper, and it had my name, my phone number, and my email, and it was like because murder she didn't speak no English at all. She didn't speak no English, so I gave her after dance class, and then right before dance class was over, I gave her the letter, and she said, "Martin, no habla inglés." I said, "Listen, just text me in Spanish. Don't worry about it. I'll translate it. Google, just text me." And she texted me, and we started, communicating. Like I would translate all her, blah blah blah. And so the next Tuesday, we went to class, the dance class. I said, "Hey," because now this is the thing about murder. Now she's the baddest woman inside in the club, but murder got 2 left feet. She's the worst dancer in the club. Even she was so beautiful that people didn't want to dance with her because she made them look bad. And but I was so infatuated with murder that I used to, give us. I was like, "Hey man, you want some one-on-one lessons? Me and you can practice. After this, yes. So come to my house." After after the dance lessons. So now, mind you, I wasn't expecting to be able to go far with this woman. I would still shoot my shot. And so she came after the dance lessons so the dance lessons, and then after dance lessons, you go to the club. And we all usually had the thing where we left the club at 2:00 because I think the club closed at like 2. And so we was heading out, and she would come to my house after the club closed. Now, the backstory about Myrta is that when I had first, communicated with Myrta, she told me that she was married. Her husband, which was he wasn't her husband, he was her children's father. She had 2 sons, and he was a businessman in Mexico. And you could tell that they was rich. So what he did was he bought her a house in West El Paso, which is like where the rich people live at. That's where all the houses that on top of the mountains and stuff. So he bought her, got the Mercedes and had all so she lived that pampered life. But he only came and seen her twice a month. So it comes with dealing with men. I come to find out that Myrta is from a upper Mexican family in Mexico, in Juarez, in Chihuahua, and her baby daddy, what they call businessman he was a cartel member. Oh yeah, no, it's Myrta, Mirta, Myrta. I had never heard that name before, and so Myrta, she stayed. He kept her up. She was pampered, but he only came to see her twice a month. But I tell you again, he was a drug lord. And so she was just one of the many women that he kept throughout, his surroundings. And so in El Paso, being a black man actually came out to be a blessing because they don't get to mess with black men there, especially because the Mexicans talk, So but if they see that you one of those dudes that keep your mouth quiet, listen. I'm talking about, I have been in prison for 23 years. I'm there, and within 6 months of being in El Paso, I had 9 girlfriends. At 43 years old, I had 9 girlfriends, and they all knew about each other, and they was all cool. They kind of like, when is my turn to see you? I was like, because it was all, and they actually turned me on to each other. Like I mess, blah blah, and they'll plug me into their homegirl, but they trying to make it look like, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It was wild. So, but Myrta was, that was, she had my heart because I had never messed with a woman like Myrta before. She's like, so she's so classy, like when she'll pull up to my house, she doesn't get out the car. Like, like most people, they pull up, I'm here, I already told them what door number you stay in, blah, blah, they get out. So I'm in such and such door. And about 2 minutes later, she ain't at the door. So I'm like, what's going on? She called me back, Martin, are you going to come get me? I'm like, what? So I have to, whenever she comes over to my house, I have to leave, go downstairs, open her car door for her to get out, close her car door, and then escort her up to my apartment. Once we get into my apartment, she's like this. I have to actually take her coat off and put her coat up. Yeah, I had never experienced a woman like that. You know what I mean? I know about opening doors, but all that extra stuff is like, wow. So, but she did upgrade me. She leveled me up, you know, interacting with her. She actually leveled me up. So, go on, fast forward. Me and Myrta, we get to, you know, we messing around and, you know, we blah, blah, blah. But Myrta, like, she's the type of woman where she like me, I'm always questionable. When I meet a woman and I have to smut her out, you know what I mean, and just punishing her for her to enjoy sex, that's kind of like the woman that I don't want as my woman, because if I had to do this to her, everybody before me had to do this to her for her to enjoy, you know what I mean, this encounter, this sexual encounter. And I'm like, man, so it's like if you walking down the street, that's one of her old boyfriend, and you knowing he probably did the same stuff that you got. So I'll interact with that type of woman, but I don't want her as my main. You know what I mean? Want any woman that I got to go that far. You know what I mean? But Myrtle, she like, nah, hold on, slow down. You know, you ain't finna just be getting there. I mean, even you might start in where you're having sex, then or you're making love, and then it start getting real good, and you start, hold up, slow this joint down. You understand? Slow it down. So I like that about her, but the thing that I wasn't fond of is because when she starts get on top to ride me, she would start doing this, and she had this long, that's what always give me that long thick black hair. And she's like, and she's just swinging her head like this. Now I'm down there, I'm just worried about her head hitting my nose and busting my nose. So that's why I'm not really enjoying it, because I'm in fear that she's gonna bust my nose. But when she's doing it, she's and she's making these noises that, you know what I mean? I'm like, but at that point, I was just so happy to be with her that I kind of like blocked all those things. But from this point now and looking back, I see it. You know what I mean? I see how it was laid out. You know what I mean? How the signs were there. But because I was captivated by beauty, that I ignored a lot of things. So, come to long story short, we're going on, we messing around, blah blah blah, and they bring this black woman. She's beautiful. She's Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican, but she looked black, you know what I mean? But you can tell she's Puerto Rican, and she was some type of sergeant in the military. But she was actually, coming and taking dance lessons with her, and because like me and her were like the only people of color that we kind of like bonded. And now she was the coldest girl to come in the club. I mean, she made Myrta look like, because she was, man, she can dance. She was beautiful. She was shapely. But me and her were just cool. And so we danced together, blah, blah, and people looking, but we was just cool. That's all it was. Now, did I want more with her? Of course. But no, we didn't cross that bridge. But Myrta kept getting jealous because, like, when we're in the club, me and Myrta, we don't interact in the club. I let her keep her, you know what I mean? Like, we see each other after the club. But now Myrta seeing this girl, so Myrta walking across the club, you know what I mean, bringing me drinks. She don't care about Mexicans in the club no more. Because she thinking this girl done stepping on her toes, and I'm telling her, nah, me and her just cool. You know what I mean? Me and her just cool. So going on, she kind of finally got an understanding. But what happened now? This new dude started coming to the club. He drive a Porsche. So now you know how the women are about them cars, and so he going on, but he looking at Myrta. Because Myrta got a homegirl. Her homegirl actually got a better shape than Myrta, but she's not that cute. But she body wise, she like whoa. And then she's a little bit younger than Myrta too. So she come in and he trying to shoot at Myrta. And I'm like, me and Myrta don't have no established relationship. But we are honest with each other. So I get into a thing where I quit going to the club. I started going to the Planet Fit instead of going to the bar. I mean, to the club. I said club, but it's actually a bar. They don't really have clubs there. It's just bars that they have dance floors in. So I'm not a drinker. And I just kind of pulled away from that, and I started going to Planet Fitness, going to the gym all the time. But still after the club, Mertha would, still come to my house every night. So the club closed around 2. Mertha's usually at my house by 2:20. 2:15, 2:20. But one night I'm leaving. So on 2 separate occasions, I'm driving by one night, and this night was like on a Wednesday. The club not even open. But as I'm driving by, well, it's open, but it's not open for dance lessons. And Mertha usually only go on a dance lessons night. So I'm driving by the club because the Planet Fitness is like about 10 buildings down from the club. So to go to the gym, I have to go by Planet Fitness. So yeah, I have to go by. Let me say this right here. So I don't know how good y'all can see it with this. If I come out, but that's a big old, because remember I used tuna fish, chunks of tuna fish in there. I don't eat meat. It's got tuna fish chunk in there. So I want to see. I did that at my work. I did that. So I'm driving by the club. I see Mertha outside the club talking to the dude with the Porsche. I see them sit inside. They sit inside his car. Now, I can't tell what's going on, but so what I do, instead of going on to the club, right across the street from the club is a motel. So I double back and park inside the motel behind the car, and I'm just looking. I couldn't really see anything. I stayed there for about 5-10 minutes. Went on to the club. Went on to the gym. I leave the gym. I get home like clockwork. Mertha show up. She don't say anything about the interaction. I don't ask her anything about the interaction. Go on. Now that next day, which was Thursday, going to the gym. Actually, I'm coming from the gym. I'm trying to hurry up and get to the house so I can get there and wash and stuff before Mertha get there. But as I'm leaving, and this is like the club closed, like I said, 2. This is like 1:30. I see Mertha walking with her homegirl, and I see her talking to somebody behind her. I don't really pay attention to who it is. I can't really, because I don't really know what he looked like. But then all of a sudden I see it's the guy with the Porsche when he gets to his car, and Mertha and her homegirl bounce out, and him and his partner, zone out like behind them. Now remember, this is 30 minutes early before the club closed. Bam. So that night, Mertha ended up showing up at my house around 2:30. So she showed up about 10-15 minutes later than usual. And I'm asking, but the crazy part was she called me. She called me as I was driving, and she was like, "Hey, Martin, I'll be there. I'll be like 10 minutes late." I was like, "Cool." And I'm like, "What's up? Where you at? What's going on?" She says, "Oh, I'm still inside the club." Now, I just told you I drove by and I seen her and a homegirl leave, and the dudes followed them. So she lied to me. That was the first thing right there. Once you lie to me one time, it ain't no coming back for that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna probably treat you wrong or anything, but you'll lie to me. You know what I mean? Especially when you lie to me and you don't have a reason to lie to me. So when she get to the house, I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Nothing, blah, 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 blah." And I said, "Yeah, what'd you do?" She's up into the club. And I said, "Mertha, that's all you did?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Mertha, I seen you." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, I was." She said, "No, yeah." I said, "Yeah, I was coming from, I seen you." And I described what I just told you about her and her homegirl. She said, it's so funny. She don't speak English, but I taught her a lot of English, and she had taught me some Spanish. And she's like, "Martin, you stalking? you stalking me?" I'm like, "No, passing by. You stalking me." And she kept saying, "You stalking me." But really, that was her. She was busted. She was using that. And yeah, she's like, "Martin, no exclusive." we no exclusive. And I'm like, "I know, Mertha, but I'm saying we're not exclusive, but we're honest with each other, right?" So going on, we go ahead, we mess around that night. That was the last time. You know, after that, I cut off. You know what I mean? And you know, I was, you know, just ignoring her. You know what I mean? I talked to her, give her bland conversations. Nah, she can't come over and blah blah blah. So she was kind of like, you know, she in a situation, she figured that she was the prize. But I know going into any situation that I'm the prize. And you know, I realize the other person is a prize too, but I don't go into a relationship thinking that this person is the prize. Cash screen focus. But so she I kind of cut off, you know what I mean? It wasn't just her. I was removing myself from that environment. Like I told you, I stopped going to the clubs and blah blah blah, the bars and stuff. So it was all cool. But then all of a sudden, about I say like 2 weeks after messing with Murtha, you know, living in conversation with Murtha, things started happening around my house, right? It was like noises. Like I'd be in my bedroom, and it's like noises are going on in the bedroom. And where I was at the bedroom, because this was a little. I stayed in Sunset Heights district, which was considered it's a historical district because it's the first when the city of El Paso was built. This was the first neighborhood that was actually built. And right behind me was UTEP College, and then which is the major university, and then this major children's hospital. So I stayed in kind of like a affluent neighborhood, and then right downtown. Like so that was one of my things. You could be sitting in my house and then open my windows. Like I open my window, I don't have to turn the TV on. I can just open my windows and you see all the downtown, all the lights and everything. And then if you come over here to this other window, you see Mexico. Juarez, Mexico. And what happens is Mexico, they have Mexico spelled out in these big old giant steels. It's this MEXO, but they're in different states. And Juarez had the X. So it's a big old X lit up, big old red X lit up at night with all these lights and stuff on it. And like this, Mexico City might have the M, you know what I mean? So, but all throughout these major cities, it spells out Mexico and these big old, and you can see this from my house. But I stayed in so my house, I say it's a house, it's an apartment, but it's actually an old castle. It was a castle that had been turned into an apartment complex. So the rooms, the rooms really didn't have like doors. They had, there was a door on the bathroom, but otherwise it was just an entryway. It was kind of like, Mexican style homes, like from Mexico. But what I had did was I had put, like, some people put the little beads, but I had put like these little drapes that actually separated the living room from the bedroom. And but I would hear all these noises going on in the living room. It's like something was moving. I get up and I go look, and there's nothing there. And then it just became, over the time, it just came to get a little bit more aggressive. And then one night I had I always get messed up when I start telling this story, so excuse me. So one night, so it got to the point where I started sleeping with the lights on. I wouldn't even turn the lights off in the other room. I would turn the lights off in my room, but the room that all the noise was coming on, I wouldn't turn the lights on. I would leave the lights on all night, all day. I would never turn those lights off. And then so much stuff was happening that it kind of messed up with my sleeping. And I don't know if nervousness or what. So I had to start taking melatonin so that I can go to sleep. Well, anybody that takes melatonin, they may have to realize that melatonin, it robs you of REM. You go to sleep, but it robs you of REM, which is rapid eye movement, which is the part of the sleep that you're dreaming in. So it robs you of that. You just like go to sleep, and then think about is because you don't go through REM. You just go to sleep and you just wake up. You don't transition like with regular sleep. You go through REM, you lay down, you go through REM, then you go to sleep. And when you're waking up, you sleep, REM, awoke. Well, with melatonin, it's just, sleep, woke. Well, what happens is these spirits, which I now know them to be, called monitoring spirits. These spirits are there, but they know when to leave, because they know when you're transitioning back into a consciousness, and they know to get over. So you have that little lingering thought, like, man, was something here, but there's no evidence. And I guess another way to be explained this is like, if you ever been like into a motel and it's clean, and then you wake up the next morning and you got all these webs and stuff and bites and stuff on you, these webs, these pusses, which is basically bed bugs. But when you look, you don't see any bed bugs. You don't see anything. Man, let me let y'all look at this rice again. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Look at that, man. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? God is good. That's gonna last me about 2 days. Oh, 2 days, man. So, like bed bugs. Bed bugs. The reason why you never see bed bugs is because bed bugs don't come out until you go to sleep. How do they know you didn't sleep? Because your body, your when you start going to sleep, you start releasing a certain, like, we breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide, but when you into a different form of sleep, the carbon dioxide is more potent, and so the bed bugs, they smell that. So that's how they say that cue, like, oh, he dead sleep, so we can get him now. And then once you start to wake up, remember I tell you, transitioning, that carbon dioxide levels decrease, and that's how the bed bugs know, oh, it's time to go, and they run. So that's why you never see them. You never see them. Well, it's the same thing with spirit, monitoring spirits and spirits as well. But when you are taking melatonin, you don't recognize that that transition. So one time I was laid in the bed and I just woke up. And when I just woke up, it was something hovering over me. Now, did I see anything? No, because the room was black. Did I think I seen something? I think I seen some red eyes, but I can't really be sure. I just know it was something hovering over me and breathing. And I was in panic. Like if you look on my videos, I did I created a video about sleep paralysis, which is basically what I experienced. I was just there, and we have all these things like, yeah, if I was in that situation, this is what I would do. But I'm stuck, bro. I'm just there. I'm just like paralyzed with fear. And then all of a sudden, it's just like I could feel it when it was leaving, and because I started, doing the only thing that I could, Jesus, what I mean, praying in Jesus, using Jesus' name. That's the only thing I could do. The only thing that I knew at that time to do was, in Jesus' name. And it actually, left. So when it left, I can move. I got on the phone, called my dad. It's like 4:00 in the morning. I'm calling my dad. I'm crying. And I'm like, yo, man, this blah, blah, blah. This happened. My dad, he just went into, praying over me, over the phone, went into, intercession prayer. And, but the next day I got up because remember, I don't know if you was here earlier, the witch that told me to think with the big head, not the small head. When I first got there, well, I knew she was a white witch, and I had never believed in none of this stuff. But I was so scared that the first thing I did was I got up that morning, I called her, and I called her that night. You know what I mean? Too, and she didn't answer the phone, but I think I left a message, and she called me back that morning, and she told me to come see her at her office, and she was like, I told you, blah blah blah. And she said she had made me this spray. It was in like a little spray bottle like this. And, it was just like a liquid like this. And she told me go and spray the house, and then put some rosemary or some sage. I don't think it was sage. I think it was rosemary that she had me do, because it's a rosemary bush. She's after every little session. She's, hey, remember y'all go break our limb off of that rosemary bush or that whatever type of bush and put it in your house. And so anyway. But that's what I had did before I went to see her. I had got up and I went and put that rosemary bush. I went and broke that rosemary bush because we had a big one outside the apartment complex, and I took like 3 pieces. I put one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, and one in the room with me. And when I tell you, I put that rose, and it was everything that I had been experiencing for the last 60 days was gone. It was already gone. But I still went to go talk to her, and she gave me the spray like this, and she told me just go spray my house, blah, blah. Now, I still do it when I spray my house and everything, but I didn't really need it because that rosemary had already ran away, whatever it was that was there. but I end up using that spray for years because when I would move to another location, I move like if some people sage their houses, I would immediately go into and spray that house with that thing that she gave me. I never asked her what it was, and she never told me what it was or what was in there. I don't know. But so now I'm good. All that stuff I've been experiencing for like the last 60 days, it's over with. You know what I mean? But it was a learning thing. But I'm stuck. I'm trying to figure out. I went into the point. I started this other woman that I started talking to. She was a nurse, and she was a little mean. She was a little mean thing, you know. Man, she was a little mean thing, but for some odd reason, I kept, you know, I liked the interest in her. Eve was her name. So me and Eve started talking, blah blah blah, and then Eve came over one night, and then Eve. Let's say Eve came over on a Monday night. That Tuesday night, I had a knock on my door. Now, you can't just pop over to my house, you know, because I ain't gonna pop over to you. That's the thing with El Paso. That's why you say, well, how can I have 9 girlfriends? Because in El Paso, dating in El Paso is very, very difficult because what happens is these women, they might have babies by this man and they're not together anymore, but he's still taking care of the house and he might have another wife, but this basically is kind of like she become his side woman now, but his baby, and so they don't allow men to come to their house. You know, no man will ever meet their kids. You don't come to the house. So these dudes, they be actually having a relationship with these women, and I'm telling them, ain't no way in the world me and you gonna be in a platonic relationship if I can't come to your house. You can just come to my house. You know, I understand you got kids. It's not that I want to come to your house, but the fact that I can't come to your house because of, you know what I mean, that we'll never be able to be, because, you know, I don't know, your baby daddy could be coming over there and still hitting, you know, so blah, blah, blah. Well, that's kind of the relationship. That's why I was able to have so many different girls, is because I would explain to them, ain't nowhere in the world we're going to be solid. And, you know what I mean, you trying to hide me from the kids and your step, which is good because I really, you know what I mean, ready to go there with him anyway. Anyway, so somebody knocking on my door, and it was around 10, 11 o'clock. You know, somebody knocking at my door. I'm like, man, what is this? So I'm easing over there and looking at. Only thing I can think about is the cops. I'm peeking through the peek hole. I picked through the peek hole, and it's Myrtha. Now, for the entire time that I had been dating Myrtha, she never got out of the vehicle without me first going to get her and bringing her back, you know, walking her, escorting her up to my house. So I open the door and I'm looking. I'm like, she said, "Hey, Martin," and I let her in, and you know, she turned around for me to take her jacket off, but I'm just kind of confused, like, the hell. So we go and we sit down, and you know, we on my bed, we're sitting on my bed. Now I'm not about to mess with her, but when I sit her, she know I love her hair, and when she let her hair down, I smell smoke, and I'm like, Myrtha, why does your hair smell like smoke? And she told me that her and her sisters had been on the mountain meditating. Now I had never heard this side of her. You know what I mean? I said, on the mountain meditating. And then all of a sudden my mind just like shot back to the first day I met her. And I said, Myrtha, are you a witch? And she just started laughing, like not an evil laugh. She just started laughing. She never said no. She never said yes. But that was just her reaction, because Myrtha was she's one of those people that I had to be very careful what I say to her, because she takes everything like, you know, she takes it, you know what I mean, heartfelt, you know what I mean, like you said the wrong thing. She's a lady. You shouldn't be talking to her like that. So for her reaction to laugh, that told me everything that I needed to know right then and there. And I was like, this is the woman who did it. It just clicked to me. This is why I experienced all that stuff. Because, I didn't tell you. So when she first walked into my house and she stopped for me to take her jacket off, she looked over there and she looked directly at the sage, and it was just a little bit of stem. It was in a cup on the window ledge, and she says, malicious spiritual, or something like. Basically, what she said was evil spirits, but she said it in Spanish. And I'm like, yeah. and so she knew all the rip. She knew off the rip what that was and what it was for. And I'm like, and then that's when, like, say we got into it later on my bed, and she's like, and I asked her if she a witch, and she started laughing, and it clicked to me. All that stuff that I had experienced was because of her. Now she's knowing that stuff isn't working, so she showed up to my house to figure out why it wasn't working anymore. But from that point on, like I said, I knew that later that day I had to go and talk to my the white witch, and she explained stuff to me and told me that I had to cease all communication with Myrta, because if I kept communicating with her, she had a foothold. You know what I mean? She still had a foothold to to cause things to happen to me. And so like I said, I cut off, and I was it was just me and Eve, and Eve, she wanted more of a solid relationship. I was going to her house. I met her kids, blah blah blah. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, I can be real with this one right here. Plus, Eve was curvy. She had she's fat, and so Eve, I told Eve about Myrta. I was like, yeah, Myrta had came over here today, and blah blah blah. And I told her, what I experienced, and so after I had told her what I experienced, she's like, I know. Like, well, she says, oh, I've been seeing spirits since I was a kid. I just don't tell nobody because people think you're crazy when you tell them that. She said, but the other night when we was in here and you got to go to the bathroom, she said, I seen the spirit. She said it was an old man. She said it looked to her like an old man. He was hunched over. She said, when I went into the bathroom, he followed me to the bathroom, but he didn't go in the bathroom with me. He just like followed me to the bathroom. And she said he turned around, he waited, he looked, he said he knew that I could see him. She said, so being that he knew that I could see him, he didn't act evil, or get what's the name. So he said, I don't really think that is the spirit that was, causing these things to you, because that wasn't a bad spirit. It was just some spirit that was attached to you somehow. But she didn't see anything evil in it. But she told me she had actually seen it. And so that was like my crash course of, And after that, I started because my eyes was open. Then I started to be able to see the witches of where I was interacting. So when I tell you, like, I had all these women, but they wasn't necessarily there for me. They was there to halt my growth or to stunt my growth or to change my direction, and man, I just tell you, so that's why, like, now I kind of like I swore off women, because I know for some odd reason I attract witches, and it's not a bad thing where I'm in fear or nothing like that. It's just that I just but that was the story of Myrta. I came back I left El Paso because of that. I was like, man, I ain't never experienced none of that. I'm from Dallas. And Central Texas, I ain't never experienced nothing like this, and I had heard about it when I got there. They told me about, how, there was a lot of witches and a lot of witchcraft going on in El Paso, but, you couldn't have told me that before I got there. I was like, man, that stuff ain't real. That stuff don't happen. So to experience that stuff, I usually don't tell people that story because people tend to think you're crazy. They think you're crazy for a while, and then you start interacting with people and you figure out, what's going on. But so that I came back. When I came back, I was doing good. And then after about 3 months back, Myrta reached out to me and we started communicating again. And once we started communicating, little things started happening. They was minute. And I remember what she told me to cease all communication with Myrta is what I did. But that was I look back now. So I go back and I tell you about when I say I look back now, because when I tell you, when she was Myrta, you had to be real gentle with her. But when she starts riding you, she and I said, now I look back now and I'm like, what the hell was I having? You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my, yeah. So I haven't, like, say, had another interaction with a woman, like that. But that was an experience, quite an experience, especially if you're dealing with a woman that is exceptionally beautiful, which I've come to find out that a lot of these witches are extremely beautiful women. And their hearts is just, yeah. But so in a nutshell, I appreciate y'all who showed up in here for me for these 2 hours, 12 minutes, trying to get me some of this watch time in, going towards my monetization. I'll be back, probably be back on here later. I'm gonna figure out how to live. I gotta do some product review for TikTok products that I got in today. Eat this beautiful rice I got over here that the Lord blessed me with. But I gotta do a live stream, but I'm gonna try to figure out where now is. Every time I go live on TikTok, I want to go live on YouTube at the same time. So actually I can get those that watch time. But I definitely got to go on YouTube. On TikTok, watch live every day, product reviews. So that's usually about an hour or two. And so those 2 hours that I'm there, I could be, using those 2 hours towards my YouTube monetization watch hours, which I'm about to start doing. So check out for the live button be coming on later. It will be me. I love you.